laugh it off. $1 million worth of game. Can't feel that I work too hard. Poetry all in these.
What's good? What's good? It's your boy, Dope Boy Diesel, back in the motherfucking Doja room. Y'all know what time it is. We are back for the day 7. I believe we are on day 7 recap of the Diddy trial. We're going to get into a little bit of what went down yesterday and then get into what's going on today in court right now. So started off a little bit late so that we have a little bit more to go through as an update for today. Because, you know, sometimes they have breaks, they go on lunch, they do this, they do that. And we usually take that time to, close out for the day. So this time I started a little bit late. So we have a little bit more meat and potatoes today. Okay, so we're going to get into the Diddy trial stuff. First, we're going to get into a couple of shorter topics. I got a few things that I want to cover or, and after that, let's see. After that, let me see what else I got. Okay, we're good. Let me just make sure our sound is good. I'm just checking our sound real quick, making sure y'all can hear me loud and clearly. Cause y'all don't be trying to get in the live chat and let me know if y'all can hear the boy. Y'all be having your boy on here muted. Y'all be having your boy on here muted sometimes. So okay, we straight. All right. Okay. All right, we're in business. To all my stoners, hippies, and hip-hop enthusiasts, welcome to the Doja Room. I'm your boy, Dope Boy Diesel, and I'm going to take you through day 7, okay? And we're going to get right into it here in a second. Now, I want to get into our first order of business, okay? Our first order of business. Now, if you guys haven't been keeping up, I'm sure most people have. But the whole beef with Illuminati and Zoe Spencer is starting to pick up a little bit. And I think it's starting to upgrade into a larger conversation of, females in this space, especially in a space with a lot of males nowadays and females who are, kind of give off the overly masculine thing like her. We're going to get into a little bit of that because I think this is starting to bubble up quite a bit and it's starting to be worth covering. So Illuminati had his basically is a evisceration of Zoe Spencer. Okay, let me get to that. This nigga's name is kind of retarded. So I think he put his response out of her. Let me get to that. Everybody got basically fucking reaction videos and shit for it, but I want to just update the people who are not privy to what's going on.
This, he handpicked that. He even had some streamers come on. This came on crying. Y'all see this? Now, I don't know. Remember, I've been gone for the past 5 years. I have no clue who this is. But she came on this motherfucker crying.
Up there and said he's not a streamer.
You throwing this under the bus and
said he's not a streamer.
Who is Zeddy? So you didn't make it and now you throwing the thing Zeddy under the bus because he's not a streamer? Maybe they see the potential in him. Like, no hate towards whoever this girl is. No way you got your on and cried because you didn't make a university, bro. You a grown woman. Like, this is a grown woman. And I seen what you be doing. That masculine, you the type of, bro, that masculine you be doing, you the type of, like, we can't trust you. No! I wouldn't put you on at all. Cut that masculine shit out and maybe you might get more opportunities. Then you got your ass.
Hold on. It's in the mood to chat. Let me see.
You going in? Now, okay, well, that's pretty much the gist of what was going on. He had a little, thing, and I guess she had a little clap back after that. Let me see if we can get to her clap back real quick. Just a little. It was really cringe. It was really cringe. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know what made her want to wild out like that, but yeah, she kind of clapped back and it just wasn't.
Who's Suleimani?
It wasn't
Who
good.
is Soleimani?
It wasn't good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't good. It was a straight crash out fest.
Until now.
And she was bugging out.
I didn't even know who the you were. Hi, how you feeling, my heart? I didn't even know who you were until now. You boring. You're mad because you're a boring and I'm crashing out on you. You stupid ass. You have a dumbass username. Your name. Hold on, Mike.
Yeah. She was bugging out. You know what I'm saying? Went in, started talking about his dads, started talking about, his mother, this, that, the third. Now, as a New Yorker, I got to give just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of leeway because I always say here in the Doja room, and I always say, if you know me, I'll say it out in person, out in real life. New York is the most disrespectful place on planet Earth. So when y'all step to a New Yorker, you got to step correct because niggas is liable to throw a Frank your way. Niggas is liable to tell you to suck some. You know what I'm saying? It's just the New York way. We're going to give it up. Filthy. Okay? So you got to tread lightly because New Yorkers go from zero to nuclear very quickly. Very, very quickly. So that all happened. Let's fast forward to where we are today because, he kind of gave his, well, do we have his response in here? We don't have his response in here, but he pretty much responded and, he fried her. He fried her up. He fried her up real good. And then he came back and apologized. Today she dropped a video. I guess kind of explaining talking about, how she's not a plant and, basically giving her perspective on things. So let's get into that.
And all of a sudden, I opened up my Instagram and I literally don't know. I did not know who Salah. I don't know who Salawati, her. I don't know who he was. I didn't know who he was. So I literally did not know who he was. And I just opened my phone up and I just saw a video. Literally. So just like this is all human beings, like everybody out there. If you open your phone up and you see somebody talking crazy about you that you don't know from a hole in the wall, you're gonna react. Human nature. I can react if I want to. Freedom of speech, free world. I'm gonna react, especially if somebody's disrespecting me. Watch the video.
So you didn't make it, and now you throwing a nigga named Zeddy under the bus because he's not a streamer? Maybe they see the potential in him. Like, no hate towards whoever this girl is. No way you got your ass on and cried because you didn't make a university, bro. You a grown-ass woman. Like, this bitch is a grown woman. And I seen what you be doing. That masculine, you the type of, bro, that masculine ass shit you be doing, you the type of bitch that'll bite a nigga dick while you sucking it. Like, we can't trust you. I wouldn't put you on at all, bitch.
This nigga top 5, yo.
Bite a what while I'm doing? Bite a nigga.
Cut that masculine out and maybe you might.
Hold on.
He was going in. He was going in. You feel me? He was wilding out. He was definitely going in.
Bite a nigga who while I'm doing what?
I'm not gonna let she fake it, baby. You know what I mean? She fake fire though. You know what I'm saying? she fake fire though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna hold you. This is why I seen this clip. I got like we gotta, you know what I mean, sidebar to this clip real quick because I think DDG said it best.
Ooh,
Only reason there's a reason why
of
these niggas is
including
doing this.
myself, let the biting shit slide and don't really be tripping like that. Cause Zoe look good. Now, if Zoe was like, if Zoe didn't, it wasn't as bad as she was. It's just like niggas ain't really trying to get bit like that. But you gotta understand, these niggas be getting bit by her, and niggas get over it quick. Y'all calling me a simp? I'm keeping it $150. All right, let me put y'all in my shoes. Look, imagine you play fighting with a girl, right? Or I can't even say that. Let me not say that. Imagine you playing with a girl, right? Boom, right? And it's somebody you don't want to be around, or she like mid or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
It's not flying. It's not flying.
It's like, I don't want to play no more. But if it's you know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying.
It's pretty privilege, okay? It's pretty privilege. Y'all let this woman has a bad attitude and she can get away and do the things that she does because she's a pretty bitch. She's cute. She got a fat ass. Like, come on, like, you feel me? This is why she can get away with this shit, of course. But some of the onus is on you niggas. Y'all brought her around. Y'all gave her a spot. Y'all gave her a spot. Y'all put her in position. Fuck you mean?
He's wild,
He's bugging. You didn't expect me to say anything? I can't talk crazy. You said I bite a nigga dick while I'm sucking
Nah, he was wild.
He did wild out. You know what I'm saying? Me off the cuff. Any of us. This is where I kind of give her some leeway too, because it's like, first thing you see, we from New York, nigga. First thing we see, we hear a nigga, you know what I'm saying, talk crazy outside of his neck a little bit. Now, I'm not one of these people who thinks, you know what I'm saying, Illuminati is the boogeyman. You feel me? I'm not one of these people who thinks that. I know, you know, I'm not a watcher, big watcher of Illuminati. I'm just calling this from the outside looking in. And, you know, it's just like I said, I know being a New Yorker how we get off. So you feeling like, oh, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I seen one person, I think your rage, say like, oh no, this is just souls. Like, you can't take it personal. You can't. I mean, I feel you, but y'all gotta realize too, everybody's not looking at these niggas like fucking legends. Oh my God, let me bow down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we New Yorkers. We New Yorkers. This is why I kind of don't get the industry plant shit, because I kind of gotta call cap on the industry plant shit, just because we're New Yorkers. We run into celebrities every day. Well, some of us, it's nothing to see these celebs doing their thing or working or setting up movie sets or whatever. Come on, nigga. That's where everything goes down. So it's as you're coming up and bubbling up as a streamer, I don't see it being necessarily mind-blowing that you're around certain people, you're around certain, you know, figures. A lot of these people be related to motherfuckers. My dad dated this one, my mom dated that one. All of these niggas done mingled and got some type of history with somebody in the city who's in the industry. If you play your cards right, any motherfucker can make it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really zoom in on the industry talking point that much, because I don't really follow that one. But you know, with her being a female and her just having this, you know, naturally aggressive demeanor about herself, and she's always trying to, like they said, like, emasculate and whatever. That's the real issue. That's probably the real issue and the real underlying issue of it all. Like, goddamn.
He was wilding. Of course she gonna say something back. Let's keep it a buck, bro. Of course she gonna say something back.
Yeah,
I gotta get this
of course she
nasty
gonna
ass drink
wild
out
out
my
a little
face,
bit,
bro.
but
Fuck.
she ain't had to go straight to the dad ones and the mother and the this and the that. You could have just violated him.
Hold on.
Could just
I'm not
violated.
finished with it. Not
It's
finished.
facts though. Y'all think it's facts?
Delay how? Audio how? Something wrong with my mic.
They was over there.
And I wouldn't even bring you around nobody. After a while, you would just become annoying. Seriously, and that's probably what Kai see.
Now here he was spitting facts. After a while, that whole shtick, like that whole like, it's like, I like chill out. Like, you feel me? Like, it's just like, you feel me? Relax.
Maybe you just an annoying ass female. It ain't even got to be nothing deeper. You don't have to come, I don't know why. Just take a look back at your track record and look at what you was doing. You trying to emasculate with that personality you had. So you didn't make it, and now you throwing a nigga.
Amazing.
Fuck the ads. Fuck the ads. Fuck them. Fuck them. Let's get back to it.
Okay.
But he was cooking.
So,
He's fake cooking right there. Like, that shit gets annoying after a while. Like, even if that's your person, that one person says it's her personality, another person says, oh, that's her whole, thing. Like, that's her whole gimmick. I don't even get it. I don't even get it, because it's one day it's one thing, the next day it's another, and we don't know what it is. But regardless, that shit would get annoying. For me personally, I don't even like being around a bitch like this the first time. Not for 30 minutes, not for an hour. Niggas is doing whole live streams with this bitch. You're bugging out. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. If y'all like that shit, if y'all like to put up with shit just because a bitch is pretty, cool. Me personally, I don't do it. I had enough bad bitches around me, 10s on down. And none of these bitches can move me to make me want to deal with a certain behavior that I just find annoying, that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I think it might be time to pivot or kind of something. Like, we know how New York girls give it up. Like, it's not nothing new. Like, we can go on baddies and watch a bitch be all aggressive and I'm from New York and be beating bitches up and shit. Like, we can watch that any time of the, like, all y'all bitches, like, this is not, then this is the thing too with you fucking streamers. And I gotta call, like, this is where I gotta call bullshit a little bit, because it's like, all you niggas is over here talking about, oh my, it's just her gimmick, that's her thing. Nigga, so the fuck, that's not no fucking gimmick. That's how all these bitches act. The fuck is you talking about? That's how these bitches be acting, for real. This ain't no fucking gimmick. The hell is you talking about? That shit is just annoying. You trying to tell a nigga who grew up with bitches acting like this all his life that that's just a gimmick? That this is just her thing? Nigga, this ain't no fucking thing. Nigga, that's you. And you are annoying. Nigga, it's okay. Niggas not fucking with that shit all the time. Like, it's okay. Like, this shit is weird. This shit is weird. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh yeah, no, that's her thing. Like, you niggas be pussy. Just say what it is. Oh nah, that's just her thing. That I'm saying that's her gimmick. That's her personality. Like fuck is you talking about? That shit is annoying, my nigga. Real bitches who act like that in real life and that's really them, they are annoying too, nigga. So the fuck? You gonna impersonate an annoying bitch, quote unquote. Apparently that's what she does. Apparently I've seen a quote. Somebody said that she's a completely different person on online or offline. So maybe that might be the case, but I highly doubt it.
You telling me that chat refresh isn't okay? You telling me that he said all of that about me, and y'all are mad because I threw the Frank? Y'all are mad because I said you? How? That was disrespectful. That was so disrespectful. You reacted to my video, calling me a bitch, saying that I bite the dick when I suck it. Like, how do you know that? Anywho,
I mean, Zoe, is it true? Zoe, oh my God, Zoe, get
I
out!
ain't gonna lie. Y'all can throw me in as the guinea pig. I'll test it out. I'll test it out. I'll take one for the team, nigga. I will test that theory, my nigga. Hold up, man. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. I'll test that theory. Y'all niggas back up, man. I'll be the one to do that, nigga. I'll take one for the team, nigga. Fuck all that.
She not answering if nothing true or not.
That's crazy to even do. Like, that's supposed to be a good time together. And
I mean, you do be going around biting niggas, though. Like, you do be going around biting niggas.
I'm just biting. Like, whatever. I'm in the middle of my 1 year anniversary. I'm kicking it. I'm having a good time. I just open my phone, being violated by a nigga I have never seen a day.
Nigga, Black Boy, shut your bitch ass up. Shut your ass up, nigga. Lucky I can't find her goddamn video.
I'm just thinking about it.
Bro, she don't know how to talk. Like, can you say what you gotta say?
Ceasefire. Apologize. So, ceasefire. Put the guards down.
It was trying to tell you like relax, like fall back. You bugging out.
Stop this. So stop it. Message him. Make a statement. Do something. This can't happen.
Nah, this D1 like shit.
Come on.
I understand though. This rage is D1.
What?
Yeah, this nigga Rage is over here making this nigga seem like the fucking boogeyman. Like she wasn't going to be able to ever come outside again. Like y'all got to stop glazing niggas like that. Like it's not that serious. It's not that serious. But if he was really going to violate, then you know, you're saying just got to let her know, like, hey, nigga gonna get on that ass. Like you gonna have to, like, you feel me? You gonna be fighting for a couple weeks. You gonna be fighting for a couple weeks, at very least a couple days. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be up for you. You're gonna have to get in the paint with a bitch or something. But I don't know, like the whole super masculine. I'm a super masculine New York bitch. It's like I grew up with bitches who act like that every day. It wasn't cute then. It's not cute to me now. And maybe you gotta like kind of pivot your content into something other than, all right, I'm gonna get with X content creator, put content creator's name here, and I'm gonna just, you know, act the fucking fool and just make this nigga seem like a fucking peon the entire time. Like, I would never have you on. That's just, you know what I'm saying? Unless we were shooting some OnlyFans, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, I would never have you on my platform if I was a live streamer. You feel me? And unless I'm shooting for a certain type of content, or I have a certain, you know, a certain thing in mind that I want to do, I'm just keeping it a buck. I would never invite this bitch to my goddamn studio or something. She give those Krishan Rock vibes. I'm gonna fuck around and punch a damn hole in your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Leave a hole in your house, eat your pizza, fart on it, put it back in the box. You know what I'm saying? She give major Krishan Rock vibes. I'm not gonna lie. She do give them Krishan vibes. Y'all can't say she don't. Now, even though she has the right, like I said, she do have the right to clap back, because we New Yorkers, we gonna clap. One thing I'm a never be mad at is a New Yorker just firing from the hip, because like I said, we go 0, not even to 100, straight nuclear, real quick. But you feel me? She do got to chill with the content that she's making. You know what I'm saying? She got to relax just a tad bit. Like maybe do some, I don't know, like maybe you should just start boxing bitches. Like at this point, just start boxing motherfuckers. Just get in the ring. The way you be talking, you talk like a fucking prize fighter, bitch. You talk like a prize fighter, like it's like Floyd Mayweather. So I feel like the only satisfying content that you can make for me is if you get in the ring and just literally start knocking bitches the fuck out. That's the only way I'm gonna like all that aggressive shit. If you asking me, that's just me personally though. That's just me personally. The only way you're gonna get me to like all of this aggressive shit is if it's in the right setting, if it makes sense. And the only way it makes sense to me is if you're in the ring fighting for your teeth to stay in your mouth. You feel me? Roll your blunts. Be in the Doja room. I'm just trying to get right. Multitasking here, but yeah. I don't know, shorty. You gotta like, you feel me? Like she a pretty girl, like I said, you know what I mean? But I would never invite her into my platform unless I'm giving, you know what I'm saying? I'm delivering some back shots or something. You feel me? I'm trying to test out what that like, see if she really gonna bite something off real quick. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't really know about all that. But moving on. I do got a couple of clips. I think a couple of people actually weighed in besides DDG. I think Canel Joseph weighed in too. And that's my boy. I like watching his prank videos. I'm not gonna lie. He weighed in.
He just hands you the bag, and then you take it and you make your own community. I'm all for it. That's that nigga's fault. Third reason is if you act like a boy, manly, and you embarrass niggas, that is another way how you can get famous. And Zoe's, her gimmick is being loud, being masculine, picking niggas up, slamming them, just being masculine. She's from New York. That's just how girls from New York are.
Bro, relax. Yeah, I mean, like, I gotta relax with it. That's just how girls from New York are. Like, nah, there's a lot of very feminine, pretty, bad bitches in New York who know how to conduct themselves. Like, she's playing a overly dramatic. Okay, maybe not to all. Maybe it's not overly dramatic because there's a lot of bitches who act exactly like that. But she's playing up this, you know, the stereotypes a little bit. Okay, she is playing it up a little bit. So
I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's literally, if I'm being honest, that's the reason why she kept coming on Kai's shit, because that was her personality. So niggas that are switching up saying like, oh, she needs to change this and that, y'all can't be saying that. I will say though, she did go around the wrong way, but y'all can't switch up if that's her whole brand. You know what I mean? Like, if a nigga think it.
Yeah. Now for the niggas switching up who, you know, kind of played into that, y'all invited her to the streams. He has a point here. You know what I'm saying? The niggas who's switching up on her, y'all can't switch up. Like, that's some, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you condone this shit the entire time, me personally, like I said, I would never have a bitch on my goddamn shit unless we were shooting OnlyFans. Okay, I would never. You know what I'm saying? And we would have to be shooting some aggressive sex scenes. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's going to get me banned off Twitch, but I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It had to be some shit like that. That's the only way we can get aggressive. Okay? But for the niggas switching up, y'all are wrong. You niggas is wrong. Just a tad bit. But homie had to switch up his tune because he had to dig back into his archives and be like, God damn. He had to think about the time he streamed with Shorty, and even he was like, all right, God damn. Like,
Why are you? Can we? Who's saying that? Why are you so aggressive? Like, hold on, you're strong. Hold on, you he's strong.
Like, I'm trying to defend her. I'm literally like trying to defend her. But damn, this does not look good. If someone clip this up, I can't even like.
Yeah, it's like it is too much. It is too much. Like the whole stream, like, all right, maybe if you do your thing, you come in, you do your big ones when you come in, y'all, and then y'all stream together, or whatever. But this is like, it's her. This is just you all the time. It's like a never-ending skit. It's like a never-ending skit, nigga. It's like, when does the skit stop? Like, you feel me? Like, when does this shit stop? Like, y'all niggas we just gonna keep on going. Like, it's never gonna end. Like, I'm trying to figure out. So I completely get that. Like, it's like, all right, Shorty, you bugging out just a tad bit. But these niggas put up with it because they would hit it.
Do cooking with
Kaya.
no cooking with Zoe. Cooking with Zoe. Can we do that?
I still fucked though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even mad at the nigga. Like, you feel me? That's why it's like, but I'm not putting up with that shit. Y'all bugging. I'm not putting up with that bitch to fuck. I'm not putting up with that shit. But you know what I'm saying? He got a point.
Yo, flip me, turn me, toss me, throw me in the air. Yo,
like,
toss me in the air and leave me there. Like, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Hey, I'm gonna give it a buck. I'm sorry.
You got to keep it a thigh out. Y'all are hitting. We all hitting. Everybody will fuck. She turned into a real bitch when she getting fucked. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to remember. You feel me? You just gotta raise the aggression level a little bit. But it's like, bitch, a nigga damn near gotta smack the fuck out you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is a little crazy. Like, the fuck you got going on?
He's scared of another man.
No, don't do that. 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 See, now she's trying to reverse instigate.
She didn't understand.
She's trying to reverse instigate.
She didn't understand.
He was scared for you.
Why Kai didn't want her around. So she started pointing fingers at everything, playing this sympathy shit. It reminded me of Megan Thee Stallion. And people felt sorry for Megan Thee Stallion for Tory Lane shit.
She not
giving them sympathy energy.
She not.
You see what he's trying to do to the girls? Why you coming at Megan Thee Stallion? She ain't got shit to do with it.
Let's get to the apology. Because Illuminati did apologize and she started getting to that and breaking that shit down.
A lot of drama happened. I want y'all to know Flight React did win the wager too. He won the wager. I ain't gonna lie. We got dropped off. We got swept.
Bumbleclad.
You know what I'm saying? Swept. You feel me? I send apologies. I'm really sorry. And I really want to say this to the bottom of my heart. I feel very sorry for myself. Put myself through that with, sorry for myself.
Top five.
But he's turning around. He's turning a new leaf.
Yeah, I mean, he said he did his big ones. He said what he had to say.
Look like the bad guy. Violating me?
I think he was, like I said, he was more so speaking to why niggas might not be fucking with you. And with that, you got to kind of take the gems, throw away the trash, and keep it pushing in that routine. But for her to respond, I don't necessarily think it's like off limits for her to respond. Y'all got to stop treating these niggas like they're the fucking boogeyman. They're out here ending niggas. That's why you got niggas like this fucking deleted thought out here now running around thinking he's putting niggas in a body bag, and he's not doing shit. Nobody knows him. Nobody knows what he's doing. The jokes is not funny. You niggas just be going off on your own little worlds, and you feel me? It is what it is. I mean, he didn't even really roast her like that crazy too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. She would probably violate him way crazier, but she don't really know the nigga like that. So it is what it is. But she got to just chill, pivot with the content. You know what I'm saying? And maybe play off of it in a different way. Add that New York swag. I'm never going to downplay you adding some New York flavor to some shit, but like add that New York swag to a little bit of a different direction. You feel me? I feel like that's the proper course of action. That's the proper thing to do. And that's all you got to do. Okay. Now, speaking on to Kai, the segue on to Kai, because we got another accusation. Okay. New week, new accusations. So we got to get to that next. We got to get to that. What's the nigga's name? It's Dez. Dez is being accused of grape and by a TikToker named Toxic Barbie. Oh man, y'all niggas is already Toxic Barbie, bro. Come on, let's get into it.
University, I only made that video about Kai because he's friends with Dez, he's friends with Diddy, he's friends with the shade, and I don't even mean to name drop. I don't know these people in real life, but they have allegations on them and you crashing out. But it was just like, my sweater's not dirty and I had a jacket on, trying to force me to take my clothes off. Then this is the weapon comes into play. I see that he has a weapon. We're just chilling watching TV, and I swear to God, he literally just got on top of me. And I was just generally so confused. The thing is like really this big, and I didn't feel nothing but a pressure of a 200-pound man on top of me. He did not ask for my consent. I felt like Hannah Baker like stuck. Very disgusting situation. He ejaculated. That's where the
Why she like? Why is this shit all broken up and she gotta read this shit? Like, who's breaking this shit up like this? Or was she just saying a whole bunch of fucking nonsense?
This comes into. It's 60 for the pill. He gave me half of the half. After he did that to me, I was like, that's not cool. I did not like that. He then got disrespectful with me, like aggressive. You should have did more. You should have did this. And I didn't want to tell my story again because I didn't want to be bombarded with a whole bunch of questions. You're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. Obviously, and the crazy part is if I didn't go, that wouldn't have happened to me. Yeah, he forced.
Yeah, let's just stop that right there. Let's just stop that right there. Look, shorty, file a police report. I ain't trying to hear this bullshit. Fuck all that. File the police report, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Maybe if it did happen, I'm sorry. But I ain't trying to hear no more of these bullshit ass fucking stories. I do believe Sky Jackson though, because fuck that nigga. He's a bum ass nigga, but that's your fault for getting with a bum ass nigga. But fuck all that, my nigga. Get to the lawsuit. We're gonna break it down. We'll get to the lawsuit and we'll dive into it that way, okay? Speaking of lawsuits, let's get back into this Diddy shit. All right, we know what we're here for. Let's get back to the Diddy trial. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, shorty, file your police report, and it better not be a civil lawsuit too. So file a police report, okay? Stop coming to the fucking internet with this bullshit. Like, nigga, file the fucking police report. File it. Just file it. That's it. Okay? Get it over and done with. Put the nigga in jail, and then we can break down how this nigga is a piece of shit while he's behind bars. Like, how hard is that to understand? I'm not trying to say you ain't telling the truth or nothing. It does sound highly unbelievable with all of these clips and being chopped up, and I don't even barely know what the fuck you even talking about. It's not even cohesive. Like, I don't even want to spend the time trying to decipher what this bitch is trying to say. Okay, it's not even. That was my first time watching it, by the way. So, yeah. But if this thing got some legs and it walks, then so be it. Let's get back into this Diddy trial. We left off yesterday. When they went on break, they were done with David James. Okay, so David James is done. When they come back, they bring back Regina Ventura, which is Cassie's mom. Okay, so this is where we get into Cassie's mom, and they start questioning her. All right, so getting a little good. It's getting pretty good right here. All right, so let's hop into that. And let me see. Yeah, what I think I did see a little photo of Cassie. Did she look like Cassie? Let me see if she looked like Cassie to y'all. Let me see if she looked like Cassie to you niggas. Because apparently they done called her to the stand. God damn. They be trying to hide the motherfuckers. Like, where the fuck she at? Oh, this is her right here. Boom. This is her right here. You got 50 going in on them. But we'll get to that as we're reading through. But that's Cassie's mom right there. She do look like Cassie a good bit. Okay. So they asked her, where do you live? She says, New London, Connecticut. They asked, how many children do you have? She says, 2, Roderick and Cassandra. Who's this? Sean Combs. He dated my daughter, she says. When did you meet Sean Combs? She says, in 2006, my daughter signed with Bad Boy Records. He was her boss. Then they started dating. They moved to LA. And they said, read this message from 2011. She says, Cassandra wrote to me. She said Sean Combs threatened to release a sex tape and go after her and Mr. Muscuddy. How did you react? She said, it made me sick. Sean Combs demanded $20,000. He said to recoup losses due to Mr. Miscuddy from my husband and myself. So Diddy went to Cassie's parents and said, yeah, I need that. Y'all gonna come up off that. Y'all gonna be the ones to come up off that because what your daughter is doing, trying to move on. It's crazy. It said, why did you take a loan to pay Sean Combs? He said, for the safety of my daughter, she said. Look in the binder next to you. It said, these are photos I took of my daughter's bruises from Sean Combs. Do you know Mia? She says she was an employee of Sean Combs. What happened? She says, we were in his kitchen laughing. Sean asked her, why was she laughing? She stopped and looked plain. Now to August 2016. We're done with the binder. It says, they said, while in LA, did you call the police? She said, yes. Sean Combs stole Cassandra's phone. They had a bitter argument outside the apartment building. She lived on the 17th floor and they argued at the roundabout. Who else was there? She says, D-Rock. Is Damian Butler his government name? She says, he was standing between us. I tried to hit him. Sean Combs took Cassandra's car, a Jaguar. They said no further questions. Now the cross-examination. The defense says no cross. They move on to the next witness. So they're done with Cassie's mom very quick with her. It said the government calls Miss Sheree Hayes. Where are you from? She said, Harlem, New York. Let's see what Sheree Hayes. Let's pull her up real quick. Because this is the next person that they bring up in the Diddy trial. Ooh, bumbaclot. So this is a dude. I thought this was a whole nigga. Okay, so apparently this is a dude. Apparently this is the guy known as Sheree Hayes. This is, I'm guessing, another dude that was in there banging Cassie out. Okay, so he's the next witness. It says, where are you from? He says, Harlem, New York. It says, what was your work? He says, male exotic dancer. I was known as the Punisher. Oh, this is the Punisher. This is the Punisher. It said, do you recognize these two? He says, I do. Mr. Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura. I was hired in 2012 to create a sexy erotic scene for them. They said, why were you called the Punisher? He said, playing basketball. I was playing basketball on West 4th Street. It says, the woman who called you, what time did she book you for? He said, midnight at Trump Tower, Central Park West. Striptease for a small group of friends. They said, when you got there, how did Miss Ventura appear? He said, in a bathroom with nothing underneath and a wig. I was expecting a crowd, but there was no one else. She told me she and her husband wanted to create a sexual scene with baby oil. What did she hand to you? He said $800. How was the room? He said dimly lit, electric candles, bowls of water with bottles of baby oil in them. He took me, she told me not to acknowledge her husband, not to look at him when he came out. They said, did he come out? He said, yes. He was naked, but I could not see his face. It was like what a Muslim woman wears. You only see the eyes. He had a bottle of Astroglide. How did you recognize it? He says, I use it. The purple top. How did it end? He said she went into the other room with him. When she came back, she asked if I wanted to finish. I said no. If they were happy, I was happy. She gave me more money. He said, did you do it again? He says, yes, 8 or 12 times. How did you end up recognizing her? He said, I was a fan of Mr. Combs and I followed him on Instagram. I saw her on it. He said, this would be a great space to break. And then they break. They said, we're back. He says, how are these sessions scheduled? He says, I'd be reached out to 5 or 7 p.m. or later. They asked for a sexy scene, but I knew it would be more. And they said, how would it start? He says, baby oil, sexy atmosphere. Mr. Combs would direct. They said, how did the direction work? He said, Mr. Combs might say, sit forward, move the camera, or what would happen sexually? You know, one time during sex, he dropped a stack of money. He said, I like this shit. Yo, this nigga says, I like this shit. 4 hours. They said, how long would it last? He said 4 hours, a lot of waiting, maybe 40 minutes or so. I was supposed to finish in a specific spot. He said, then what? He said, should we leave with Mr. Combs 10 or 15 minutes? She would leave with Mr. Combs 10 or 15 minutes. She'd return in a bathrobe and pay me $2,000 or $12,000 cash. Did you think Miss Ventura was enjoying herself? They say objection. It's sustained. They said, did you use drugs? He says, I'm not a marijuana smoker, but I did pull a Bill Clinton. I was handed a joint. He says, did you have performance issues? Having the woman's partner there, yes. Did the issues affect your pay? They said objection. It was overruled. I wasn't sure. He continues to answer. He said, I wasn't sure how they calculated it. One time, Mr. Combs threw condoms on the couch next to us. I struggled. It was a failure. He said, what happened? He says, they went out. I finished. She came back and thanked me for privacy. What do you think would happen next? He said, I was worried I would not be used again. I hadn't done my job. He has said, I want to see you fuck her, and I couldn't. Are you writing a book? He said, yes. Self-help about my ed. It's advice. They said, in your book, do you write about the time with Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura? He says, yes. I call them a married, wealthy couple. So, well, the cat's out the bag now. In your book, did you write about your time? Oh, no, sorry. He says, they said, how long is it? He says 6 pages out of 186. I sensationalized it. I wanted it to be enjoyable, highs and lows. They said, no further question. They come back for cross, and they said, I'll try to make this as harmless as possible. Congratulations on your book. What's it called? He asks. He says, In Search of Freezer Meat. What's harder than that? And the man comes back and says, good title. What the fuck? Pause. Now Judge Diesel needs to take a pause. What the fuck are we talking about here? Are you niggas good? Pause on this whole fucking court day. On this whole pause the nigga typing this. Pause the nigga saying this. Pause the nigga talking about good title. Pause the nigga Diddy for using this shit. Pause the nigga for using such a title and thinking of the title. Pause the nigga for writing in the book with the title. Pause all of this shit, okay? Pause this shit. Shit is crazy. Let's get back into it. He says, you have a website. He says, yes. Now I'm a co-owner. All the male dancers are independent contractors. They ask, you've been doing this for 25 years? He says, 30 years. Coming up on a big anniversary. They said, you dance with them? He says, a professional dry hump. Holy. Pause. For 30 years, thousands of ladies. You try not to develop feelings for them, right? He says, You try not to. It's a job. They asked, but you talked with Cassie. He said, cordial. They asked, you asked to be able to call you. He said, just to set the sessions up. We were never asked to talk. She was comfortable with you? He says, she said so. You had feelings for her? He said, incorrect. But you thought she was only doing this with you? He said, that is correct. She said it was a special occasion. You did develop feelings for her? He said, that's not correct. They said, you told the government notes you say you developed feelings for her. He said, that may have been taken out of context. You used your 25 years of experience. He says, this was a different scene. I usually aim for humor. They asked, you wouldn't try to dry hump someone who didn't want to be dry humped, correct? He says, yes, it's important to read the room. So you read the room with Cassie and she wanted, they said, objection. Well, you could read the room, but you couldn't read the room that a bitch didn't want to be fucked. You could read the room, but you couldn't read the room that a bitch didn't want a dick in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? You could read the room, but you couldn't read that a bitch was on her UTI burning. Holy, oh my God. They getting on that ass. They said sustain. They asked, was Mr. Combs request? Did Mr. Combs request that you penetrate? He says it was a demand, a strong suggestion. It said Cassie paid you even when she canceled, right? He says yes, $500. Mr. Hayes, I wish you succeed with your book. They said thank you. They said judge says redirect. They come back with the redirect. So this is the prosecution once again. They asked, what made you think Miss Ventura was enjoying herself? He said it was the first time unprotected. They said without the details. They say objection. They say no further questions. They said anything, Mr. Donaldson. He comes back. So this is Diddy's lawyers. It says, what did you mean by steamy? He said it felt enjoyable for Miss Ventura and Mr. Combs. They bring in the next witness after that. So now they are done. Okay. They're done with them. They then bring in Special Agent Gerard Gannon. Okay. That's who's next. It says, they ask him, where does he work? He says HSI in Miami in the National Security Group. They say in March 2024, he says the HSI Human Trafficking Group, Sex and Labor in Miami. They said, what time did you did the search begin? He said after 3 p.m. They said, why so late? He said, we learned Mr. Combs and his family were flying out of the country. They asked, was there a pier on the property or on Star Island? He says, yes, we had to monitor it. They show the photos of Star Island. They said, why did you have to break open the gate? He said, to make sure the bad actors wouldn't have time to put those who would search in danger. They said, what is this a photo of? He said, the pool and the pier. They asked, what did you find there? He said, parts of an AR-15 rifle, sex toys, and Astroglide. And they showed the photos of the guns and toys to the jury. It said, they asked, he then says, these magazines were loaded with bullets. And they asked, what did these show? He says, the serial numbers have been cut out. They asked, let's turn to 2 more exhibits. What are these? He says, ammunitions we found. And then they ask, and these platform high heels, how high are they? He says 7 inches. He says, this may be a good place to break for the day. And that's where they leave off for the day there. We're going to get into today and what's been going on today now, okay? So now we are moving. It is the 21st. We're getting into the 21st, day 8 of trial, and we're continuing, okay? So let's get into that. And we're, again, we're expected to see Kid Cudi at some point with all of this. All right. So I believe they're about to have Dr. Hughes on the stand. And this is 2 hours ago. We're going to be picking up from then. They're getting their bearings. Let me just get to the part where they begin to... Okay, no, they're going to continue with Mr. Gannon first, and then they might get to the doctor. Okay, so they says they continue. The jury enters. They ask him, what is this? He says, high heels and sex items in the master closet. Then they ask, what is this? He says, 3 cell phones found in one of the boots. They display the Gucci bag for the jury, and then they pull up another exhibit and a stipulation. They zoom into paragraph 5. It says a white plastic bottle. It contained a liquid residue of meth and liquid MDMA. Okay. So they ask, these pills were found with a Tesla imprint on them. These had the active ingredient of Xanax. This $100 bill had residue of cocaine. Mr. Gannon, what is this? He says a dark wood box with the word puffy on the top. They ask, how did you know that this is the Astroglide and the baby oil that you seized? How many bottles of each? He said 31 Astroglides, 25 baby oil bottles. And the cell phones found? He said yes. Was a gun found in the suitcase? He says yes, a 45. They says hold the bullets up for the jury, and then they say no further questions. Judge asks for cross. The defense comes. They said the day of the search, you knew that Mr. Combs was leaving the country with his twin daughters. They have an objection and then a sidebar. After the sidebar, they come back and they continue questioning with the defense. It says, in planning the search, you knew that none of the targets of the investigations would be there. They say objection is overruled. The agent answers back. He says, the plan was to have him not there, but we had contingencies. They ask, what types of vehicles did you use? They said armor vehicles. He said, and a boat, come in by land and by sea. He said it's a common practice. They ask 80 or 90 agents. He says not all at the same time. They ask, you found 6 people and kept them in handcuffs for an hour? He says, no, ma'am. There was one individual who wasn't happy with us and wasn't cooperating, so we kept him in handcuffs longer. They asked because he wasn't happy with the cuffs? He said there was a music studio in the guest house, right? 305. Did you recognize this? He says, yes, ma'am. It's the studio. They said move to admit. And they continue. They ask again, the gun was wrapped in a towel. It didn't look like how you displayed it to the jury yesterday. He says, right. Yes, ma'am. They said, did you find any photos of Mr. Combs with these firearms? He says, we did not. They asked, do you agree that handguns, metal, is easier to get fingerprints than maybe another type of device? He says, can't say if it's easier, but it can be done. They asked, can you get prints off a gun easier when it's inside? He says, I don't think so. They said, at HSI, you have Mr. Combs' DNA, right? He says, I don't know. When he was arrested, the government took his DNA swab, right? He says, I don't know. Hold up the Gucci bag. The drugs were in this bag and the puffy box, right? He says, yes. Your Honor, I'm going to introduce a sealed exhibit with the help of IT. May I approach the witness? He says, yes. We may proceed. They says they can't see the exhibit. They said, please don't say the names of the people in this photograph other than my client. Don't talk about it. May we confer with the counsel? He said, you may. They take the sealed exhibit down. Then they come back and ask, "You live in Florida. Don't many people have guns in their homes?" They say, "Objection." Judge says, "Rephrase." They says, "Do you have guns in your home?" He says, "Yes." They say, "No further questions." They ask for a redirect. He says, "No." The next government witness is Dr. Don Hughes. They ask, "What is your profession?" He says, "Clinical and forensic psychology. I treated people who were in World War II, which was such an honor." They said, "How many times have you testified in court?" He says, 60 or 65 in SDNY and ENDY. And the Northern District, also New Jersey, Pennsylvania, so on and so on. He said, "We offer Dr. Hughes as an expert." They say no objection. The defense says no objection. They said, "What do you anticipate covering?" He said, "The victim's stay, memory." They said, have you been retained by the government?" He says, "Yes." They said, "What's your hourly rate?" He says, 600, 6,000 for the day in court. They said, "Why do victims stay?" He says, "There are psychological bonds and there's psychological consequences of the abuse." They asked, "What are the levels of fear?" They said, "It ranges from physical violence to butterflies. Violence doesn't have to happen all the time." They said, "What psychological violence?" He says, "Intimidation, throwing things, telling you what you can and can do or where you can and can't go." They said, "Objection." He says, judge says, "Hold on, I'm going to strike that last answer." They said, "What can be the role of sexual abuse?" He says, "It puts the victim in a significant psychological fear." They ask, "Why does it prevent leaving?" He says, "Shame, degradation. They don't want to think about it." They ask, "What is emotional abuse?" He says, "Putting down our partner, feeling like a piece of crap." He said, "What about financial dependence?" He said, "The abuses controls housing and transportation, taking away her laptop." They say, "Objection is sustained." They said, "Are you familiar with love bombing?" He says, "The honeymoon phase, the abuser showers her with gifts and affection to get her back. Does the attempt to leave happen over time?" He said, "Yes, it takes multiple attempts." Which is the most common coping mechanism? He says, "Trying to work it out because of the trauma bond. You don't want to lose your partner. Personal personal coping mechanisms. How does placating or appeasing work?" It says, "We're trying to avoid abuse." They says, "What is minimalization?" He says, "The victim says maybe they had a bad day at work, maybe they were intoxicated. It's a way to stay in the relationship, but it increases their risk. It's not a long-term strategy. It gets from one assaultive episode to the next." They ask, "What about the power relation?" He says, "A power relation, a person can have power as principal of a school." The victim asks, "Who is going to believe in me?" When does the victim finally speak? He says, "In a safe environment or after psychological help." They say, "What type of language do victims use when they first speak?" He says, "They minimize. They are piecemeal. They remember the chipping paint on the ceiling, the smell of alcohol, the proprietor's breath. Oh, the perpetrator's breath. I'm sorry." Then they say, "Sidebar, cross-examination. It would be by Jonathan Botch. Alexandra Shapiro's husband only recently brought on as Combs' 10th lawyer." So Combs has brought a 10th lawyer in the fray. It says, "Your clients, you observe them closely, their cognitive style." He says, "Yes." He asks, "People don't fit into boxes, right?" He says, "There are categories." Then he asks, "But you have to listen to particular individuals, right?" He says, "I'm not divorcing from my training." And that's pretty much where we are today. They're still questioning the doctor. They're still questioning the doctor. And they're still going through his testimony there. So yeah, this is pretty interesting to see how they're trying to break down and angle this to say that, okay, it seems like, Diddy, he is trying to angle this in a way, or the prosecution, they're trying to angle this in a way to say that, look, they want to lay out the normal patterns of behavior of a victim when they're in a circumstance like this, and you can kind of see you know her thought process, and to kind of answer the questions of the people asking, well, why would you stay there, why would you text this, why would you do that? But I don't know, to me it seems like Cassie's text messages and her constant, kind of going back to Diddy, it seems a little bit further than the normal abusive relationship or whatever it is. But at the same time too, she was getting beat on for 11 years. You never know. You never know. That trauma could be very, very deep to where she feels like she still to this day wants to show him that she would hold it down. And I feel like if this nigga would have, came to his senses or reeled it in at some point, or went through this brother love stage and kind of cleaned up his act, before it was too late, he could have avoided all of this, to be honest, and kept on doing his freak offs. Him and Cassie just had to stop putting hands on her. But yeah, I mean, now he's in a world of hurt, and it is what it is at this point. Okay, so we are pretty much up to date on where they're at in court today. Of course, we're going to pick up right where we left off tomorrow. I'm going to go and try to, because I've been trying to collect notes a little bit. I've been a little bit out of touch, been busy outside of the court stuff. So I want to get it back in tune with my guys going to court and getting their information. And I want to be able to give a little bit more context of what's going on behind the scenes of the trial and things like that. So I'm going to tap in with my peeps. We're going to talk a little bit more about what's been going on. And we're going to do a nice little wrap up at the end of the week. Okay, so I appreciate everybody for stopping through. We got 147 of you guys in here, or 148 of you guys in here today. And I deeply, deeply appreciate you guys popping out every single time we go live during this trial. So definitely expect me to be doing more of these with you guys and keeping you guys up to date with everything going on. And I'm going to do my due diligence to find out, what's going on under the hood. You know what I'm saying? Because as I said, my shout out Inner City Press. They type hella fast, but there's a lot of key things going on, reactions, people in the rooms, or little whispers and things like that that's going on that would kind of add a little bit more context that I like getting and giving to you guys, so that you can come here for that special breakdown. Okay, so again, I appreciate you guys for popping out. To all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts, this is the Doja Room, boy Dope Boy Diesel, and I always appreciate when you guys pop out with me. Check out my playlist, and we're gonna be rocking all week until this trial is over. Well, pretty much all month until this trial is over. Okay, and I am out. Let's get it.
That I work too hard.